Hi everyone, this is Alan. I am going to try a couple things today in my reading, and it's going to be brief, but I'm going to do a series of these, so if you're listening, good. I'm probably not going to post these anywhere except for YouTube, so beware that they're only on YouTube, and I will let you know in the future that I have been doing posts on YouTube, so I'll let you know on Facebook, and you can let other people know if you'd like. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to try something new, see how it works. I was told to do it this way, but I'm going to try something briefly. Hold on. See if you can read my writing here and see if it's legible. Maybe not. I mean, here. Nope, it's gotta go down like that. I'm not sure if you can read that. I'll check in the video, but they said do it this way, maybe. Okay, there we go. That works, I guess. And then we'll go up here and we'll see if you can see it that way, or I think it's probably better for me so I can read it to do it this way. See if this works, and we'll bring this up here, and then this is the poem, and you can read the poem with me. And it's the third chapter in At Your Service, Puppy Poetry, or Puppy Dreams. This is the 31st generation of this, or revision. So, chapter 3, beginning again. It's a lyrical poem. When all is lost, we start again. With kindness we ascend. There are some things I cannot escape, and dreams that get away. So let me take a chance to create and begin again, and welcome who I am, and welcome who I am. This is when I have to start again, where the song becomes your chorus, singing from beginning to end. In all of our complexities, authenticities, always gives back love by touching, being together, and progressing forward, collaborating, always bringing me back where I begin again by welcoming who I am, and welcoming who I am, and perhaps welcoming who you are. This is when I have to start again, where the song becomes your chorus, singing from beginning to end. So I thought I'd read that poem again, just to remind me, and then we can go down to a couple more pages here. I like this little image of a chihuahua, because I have a chihuahua. This was a 9-line quartet, and it was in block form, but of course it did not take on the newer revision, so I have a copy of it here. Let me see if I can show you. Right there. And we lost it in the 31st revision, so there you are. And go back up here. So this is what it says, if you dare to read this poetry. 9-line quartet. Let's begin with who we are, encouraging better and looking beyond the stars, when all we need ya to remember that the art and dust will go on. Never be afraid of who you have become or where you want to go. What makes the mind sparks is where do we start? Seeking for you in a bitter state, beyond the void and learning to embrace how grateful we be letting grateful we be let begin. When all we have is enough, we are improving, appreciating the grand design from this body we call living. This lifelong, when all is lost, let's start again, as kindness is ascending where we've been. Now you can say we call living, so, or weed, or let's start again, or let's start again, let's start again. I like that because it brings it back to the literal. Of course, it would be more like that. Let's start again. I'd rather say let's start again. Okay, so moving on. And another poem from this book, which is called, what I said, Puppy Dreams. At Your Service, Puppy Dreams. Or AYS, Puppy Dreams. Okay, and then this one I did a little research on, so I think I have a right to read it. Let me see if I can find it for you. Yeah. Okay. Not that one. I'll read this, it's quick. Hymn. The femoral artery is pulsing. The cervical nerves are pinching. The arm muscles are tense. I welcome his kind in. Now you can repeat that if you want and go back and listen to it again. Thoreau me back. Quietude. I want to. Waking up cool. The sun is up, the temp down. I have wishes for us, frowns. Maybe I was hopeful. Maybe you were all. Henry David Thoreau. What were your injuries, inventor and pencil maker, the master craftsman, tutor, nanny? Really? He did not know what he knew. With an attitude, quietude, desperation, repetitive, articulatory, there's a wordplay, articulatory, whatever, articulation, yeah. Articulation, that's what it's supposed to be, articulation. Yeah, so it's a play on that. So you're trying to be articulate, right? It's about speech. A poet with a tune lived in a borrowed place near Emerson, the everyday person, a conscientious intellect. Henry David, don't throw him back. I thought I liked that. Sort of a little funny poem. Anyway. Okay, so we're going to stop this one. And agency and register, I'll read that to you. As songwriters were poet editors, welcoming prose, like essayist readers, wrote literature interdisciplinarily, when intersectional poetry would, if it was fiction, the non-fiction kind, or the graphic novel, romantic comedy that instructed Anne Carson's sentences, reverberating the synthesis of Carol Walker and Douglas Kearney. So, and this is always needs to be read, but I don't think we have time for that. So I'll move on. It's called Plastic, and it deals with plastic in the water and plastic in our bodies and how plastic we have become. And I don't know if it's all about flexibility. So that's that. I don't read these end poems very much, but I think they have breath to them, so I'll read them to you if I haven't read them before. If any, if we could have met before, if the world doesn't explode or smolder like a volcano, hold on. If you can't listen to me online, if only you had time to understand we are in the same airplane, trying to hold on. If I could read what you wrote, if red was more than bleeding from the plastic cut from flesh touching my skin that held me together. If only you were home, if only you didn't leave, if only we were human, I would hold on. Anyway, you don't know this, but as you age, you will begin to die. It is given virtue sometimes to consider. It is a given virtue sometime to consider. From friendships to relationships with grown-ups, it is supposed to happen. Hearts, eyes, your hands. Anyway, she loves him. We were friends first, before we were physical. They learned to learn. Every conflict a right to pass on endless tempos. The separate parent divorce matters to results. Anyway, you didn't call, you didn't answer the text. We feel openly lost, like whatever it is possible. Anyway, we were together after they were friends, and then we weren't. I wanted to say we went on, but I can't speak for them, or him, or her, or them. But we made our way by creating our circles, making it together, but alone, like loneliness is, like immediate families were like my own. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They have moved, like you can. I can go on. Anyway. So I thought that was interesting. All right, folks. Well, I think that's enough for now. Let me get over to this recording apparatus and see if we recorded everything. Here we go. All right, we're back, and we did that in less than 15 minutes. I hope you appreciate it. Thank you, and have a good one. Keep on creating.